This is part two of my Psych Soup reflections. I was in the middle of, I think from now on, when I switch topics in the middle of a video, I'm going to shut it down and just relaunch because, especially if it's if it's over 5 minutes, if it's between 5 and 10 minutes, that's what I'm going to do from now on. Because I do get off topic a lot and then I switch the mood and the energy, and it's not for everybody. So I was raped on May 10th, May 11th, and I was very quick to heal, throw that aside, and get on with my life. It was so stupid and so boring. Of all the rapes, it was such a stupid one. I know consent. Backwards, forwards, frontwards. When you live in slavery, oh, you know exactly what consent looks like, what it feels like. And this is not in question. It's just not in question. I'm not going to rehack it. If you're new to my story, very briefly, I was given a roofie. And I was so intoxicated when the rapist brought up sex that I was partially unconscious. I vomited. I said to him, I think I've been roofied. And he still had sex with me. I was so fucking intoxicated. So fucking intoxicated. To the point where I needed help walking. And that did not stop him from bringing up sex. So my problem was, I don't know who to trust. The girl who had invited me out, she said, "Hey, it's your birthday and I can't make your birthday party. How about if we go do this?" And it was supposed to be just her and I kind of celebrating my birthday. And then she was like, "Yeah, let's go to the bar." And when I got there, I was already drugged on marijuana, my choice. I was so fucking high. And I got to the bar, and then I saw white powder at the bottom of my whiskey glass, and a trustable resource informed me that after years of experience with this rapist who she was married to, she made it very clear that his drug of choice was 3 to 4 doses of Molly. And there was so much of it that I could see the white granules at the bottom of my whiskey glass. But there were 4 people present. There was, well, 5 people. There was my friend. There was another friend that I was familiar with. There were 2 guys who I had no idea who they were, and there was the bartender. That's not including the rapist, who was 6. So we're looking at 6 people involved. 6 people. This bar is one of the most popular bars in Brooklyn. And I have 6 people involved. And 2 of the guys were arguing with her, "What took you so long to get her here?" I don't know if the bartender was in on it. I don't know if these 2 new guys were in on it. I don't know who. And I do know that when I talk to person A, it travels through the whole community. And then I saw people warning and tipping off the rapist. And I was part of a community, a very large community, that was so loving and so fucked up. And I have a lot of history with this group and a lot of love and a lot of affection for them. And I struggle. After the rape, I watched people betray me. I watched people turn on me, people who I trusted. I became afraid and wasn't certain who I could trust, who I should say anything to. It was difficult. I had more people lash out at me, angry. And I walked away from the community. I cut out all of my friends. And my partner and I, well, he did not like my decision. And I told him yesterday that I need to work this out. I am dealing with a rape, betrayal, mistrust. And this isn't the first time. This is the first rape, but there have been a lot of other incidences. And broken promises from friends, people going, oh, we're best friends now, and then they vanish and I never hear from them again, people who dump me, people who don't come through with anything they say. And I'm new at friendships, I'm new at people in social society, so it's hard for me to already trust. And then to see this much disloyalty, this much, it's hard. And then they're all making excuses for each other. They're all covering up for each other. Oh, well, they're mentally ill. Oh, well, they have this mental problem. They have this mental problem. And I'm the epitome. I am the fucking mother lode of mental illness. I was. And I'm standing above this all going, I overcame like 8, not just 8 mental illnesses, but the largest mental illnesses. And I get it. Some people just don't have it in them. Some people are too broken. Some people don't have the direction. I get it. But at what point do you stop making excuses for people? At what point do you stop making excuses for people and you put up that boundary and you say, enough. It's just not okay anymore. So my partner made me realize that I was being too judgmental on the entire community. He's like, you are damning the entire community. And I told him, you know what? I need to do that right now. I want to hate the world. And I did. For a few days, oh, I hated the world. I managed to contain that hatred down to just this community. And right now I need to until I figure this out. And I realized that I really was afraid, which makes me think that hatred is actually part of fear. Let me write that down. Hatred is somehow related to fear, while anger is related to self-love. That is good for me to know because I've been trying to figure out those spectrums for a while. Interesting how hatred leads to fear. No, it's love. I also loved him. Love and fear equals hatred. Oh. But anger plus pain, no, love plus pain equals anger. Aha, I got it. Okay, so hatred, oh, they're compound emotions. Ah, this makes so much more sense. Oh, I love compounded emotion. Compounded emotions are my favorite. Compounded emotions is when you have 2 emotions or 3 emotions that, when combined, they create a new emotion. We often think that it's a tertiary or a secondary emotion. That's what we're taught in psychology, which is, in my opinion, wrong because it doesn't apply and it doesn't make sense. Oh, my whole system screams when it doesn't make sense. So I'm looking at it going, okay, what is it really? And I just realized that when you have love and fear at the same time, that becomes hate. That's a compound emotion. When you have pain and love together, that becomes anger. And when you have, ready, insecurity, um, insecurity, neglect, and fear, that becomes jealousy. So jealousy, hatred, and anger are all 3 compound emotions. That is good to know. I have been trying to figure out hatred for a long time, which is why the emotions are so complex, is because they're not tertiary. So tertiary emotions are basically, they're like Pokemon. This is the concept of, oh, you have an emotion X, and when it reaches to the next level, it becomes B, which is true to an extent. But it didn't at the same time make sense to me. And I think I have to like go through this and apply it to my comprehension of emotions, that it's actually a concoction of, it's not an evolution, but it's like a morphing. So it's like you have Pokemon A and Pokemon B, and when they come together, they form a new Pokemon. So they're still evolving. It's still a tertiary emotion, but it's because it morphed with something else. It's the catalyst, the concept that in order to have a component, I swear this is physics. This feels like physics or chemistry, like a law of science somewhere, but I'm not a scientist, so I don't know the laws. So if anyone out there is watching this video and you're going, oh yeah, that's the law of this scientific thing, let me know because I'd love to know which one it is. So here's what I think. You cannot have a new X, a new chemical, a new thing, unless it combines with another chemical and creates something new. You can't. Emotions are the exact same thing because emotions are all chemicals in the brain. Of course they are. Oh, of course they are. So it's the chemical, oh, this makes so much sense. It's the chemical love and the chemical fear. And when they combine, when these two chemicals are released, they create a new chemical called hatred, and it produces that emotion. Just like when you have pain and you have love and the emotions come together, it creates anger, but only with a certain ratio of X to B. Oh, this makes so much sense. So when you have pain and you have love, you have to have more pain than love to create pain. But if it tips it so that there's more love than pain, then it becomes anger. Oh, the love must outweigh the pain. See, right now I'm in pain with my partner. Oh, and I love him. And I have more love for him than I have pain because I know how to heal, but I'm still in pain. So I have more love for my partner than I have pain. And now I'm angry. And I have this constant anger that just sits there because it's hurt. And I know how to turn it down. I know how to manipulate the chemicals and fix it all. I know exactly how to do that. And I'm working on that. But my partner has more pain than love. It's not that he loves me less. It doesn't mean that he loves me more. What it means is that his pain is that substantial. He loves the fuck out of me, which means that the pain he's experiencing is insurmountable. It's all of his love for me and then some. And as a result, he doesn't flip over to anger. He's just feeling substantial pain. Now, when we start to turn down that pain so that his pain will eventually be less than his love for me, that's when it's going to trip over and trigger anger, which is fantastic. That'll be fantastic. Oh my God, that'll be so great. It means we're on the right path. So right now he's hurt. But when it's going to turn down, it's going to finally slip into the anger stage when the pain is finally less than the love. There'll be more love than pain. Then there will be anger. That's it. And then you keep turning down the pain, and then it returns back into just love. That is the healing process. That is the healing process inside the actual brain when the chemicals are all in place. I think. I hypothesize. It feels good. It makes sense. I'm pretty sure this is it. I cannot wait to do the research on this later. Oh my God, I'm excited. So that being said, yeah, we have compound emotions, and a lot of work is not done on compounded emotions. And I am a firm believer that a compound emotion is when you have two chemicals in your brain combining together to create a new entity, which is why you have a new emotion, which is why fear and hatred and anger, well, not fear, which is why hatred, anger, and jealousy are all tertiary emotions. A tertiary emotion is actually a compound emotion. I feel better. So this was a productive morning. So yeah, this is where I'm at with these friends and with the rape. And I know I'll resolve it. I know I'm gonna like slowly open up. I know I'm gonna slowly open up and allow them to come back into my life, but it's gonna take time. It's gonna take me the healing that I have to do. And I'm gonna be very cautious. Very, very cautious. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. And I'm scared. Yeah, bottom line, I'm scared. I'm very scared. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I feel safer knowing this. It's amazing how safety works. Yeah, that's something I'm going to talk about next.